All right.
Fingers crossed. That should be flicking over to YouTube. All right. Looks like YouTube's got it up live. So if I just get you to say something, then give me a bit of an idea on how much lag there is going across YouTube.
How are you today, Gary? It's good to be on the podcast.
Yeah, I'm doing great. How are you?
Good. It's Sunday. Naturally, there's rain about.
Yep. I've got a massive delay going over to YouTube. I think it's about 5 seconds.
Oh,
But
okay.
that's okay as long as it's going over, and then I can check back on that after we're done and see how it actually turns out. The one on Facebook that I did a couple of weeks ago, the lag was so bad that it was upsetting the audio quality, so it was not worth doing. So we'll see if YouTube works out better.
All right.
Yeah, okay. So today we're doing an interview on Aussie LawnStars with Stewart Marfleet. How you going? Hello? Oh, I think it's frozen.
No, I'm here.
Okay, yep. All right, so it's working all right then?
Yeah, it seems to be.
Yeah, okay. So you're Stewart Marfleet. Is that how we say your last name?
Yes, it is. Yep.
Cool.
Well done.
All right, and you're up near Bundaberg, but not in Bundaberg, but somewhere close to that area.
Very close. Yep. On the coast from Bundaberg. So, middle of town's only 15, 20 minutes away.
Okay, nice. So you're in a residential area there, or is it sort of in between residential and rural?
It's residential, rural. We're all on half-acre odd blocks. Oh, I just lost you, Gary. Look, we're on half-acre blocks, which, can you hear me? Gary?
Hello, I'm back again. My computer just spat me out.
Yeah, you dropped out.
Yeah, sorry about that. So let's try that again. So you were saying you're in between rural and residential.
That's right. We're basically in a estate, couple of k's from the coast. It's all half-acre odd blocks.
Okay. So half-acre blocks are fairly decent size.
That's right. And I like it because I do neighbours' yards, which is great for me. At this stage, I can't fit my sensational Bush Ranger Zero on the trailer myself. I can't put it up there and get it off myself. But all these local jobs is where I use that because I can drive it there, which is really good and handy.
People who'll be listening into this, let's just touch on the reasons why that is. So a lot of people will already know you if they're part of LMCA and know that you're using a wheelchair.
Yeah, that's correct. Yep. I'm paraplegic.
Okay, so paraplegic meaning you've got no use of your legs at all?
That's correct.
Yeah, okay. And we've only touched on this briefly when we were discussing organising this interview. You mentioned that you'd been in an accident.
Yeah, I was in an accident in 2020. 2000. And it was a relatively simple accident. I was in a four-wheel drive at night and driving through a paddock. I hit a channel bank, not going particularly fast, but blew the bottom of my back apart, T12, L1, and a little bit of bone stabbed my cord. So I knew the moment that the accident happened, I'd never walk again.
Ouch. You could tell straight away that you had nothing there.
Yep, straight away.
Yeah, so that would have been a big challenge to be immediately aware, but also over the following week or two going through hospital treatment.
Yeah, it was. I was in hospital, and when you think about it, you've had a major injury. I had 10 odd hours of surgery, 3 or 4 days after my accident, and then another 10 weeks in hospital, and drove to a unit and started living life as a paraplegic.
So,
I was so lucky though. You know, I was married at the time. My wife has stuck by me,
yeah, that's awesome.
which was a huge challenge for her in the first couple of years.
And
but
a lot of the time, the partner doesn't do that because it is so life-changing that they don't know what to do and can't handle it. So
that's right. Through these major accidents, a lot of people, not many couples survive.
yeah. Yeah, well, she's a true champion, sticking by you with that. That's
Yeah, she is.
That's a lot for her to deal with.
Well, naturally, her life changed as well.
Yeah,
you know?
That's right.
No, none of the favourite things. No walks along the beach. No. The things she misses out on.
Yeah.
Yeah. She's a trooper, that's for sure.
Yeah. So you left hospital. Did they give you a decent rehab coming back out of hospital and getting set up, or you just left hospital with?
Well, basically, I was in the acute ward for 2 weeks. That surgery, been put in a wheelchair, out of the bed and into a rehab facility. So I spent 10 weeks in rehab.
Okay.
And then basically you're on your own from that.
Yeah.
And it totally depends on, on your attitude. The doctors told me in acute, one of the things they said was, "You're so lucky." And I'm lying there thinking, no, you're at a good age to deal with it. I was 39 at the time.
Yeah. Okay.
And physically fit and a good attitude. And I've always been one to just get on with it. I've had more tragic things in my life happen than being put in a wheelchair. So life just goes on and you just get on with it.
I bet you wanted to punch the doctor in the face when they said you're lucky, though.
No, I had a bit of a laugh actually.
Yeah.
Because I thought, oh well, that's a fun way to, a strange way to put it, but
yeah,
I had good friends and family around me, and the support I got from so many people at that stage was incredible. So, plus I've always been one, I'm a bit of a sport fanatic, so I've followed Olympics and Commonwealth Games, and I was aware what people in chairs can do. In rehab, the wheelchair skills instructor, absolutely brilliant guy. The things we had to do, we had to get up 2 flights of stairs in case we had to get out of a fire. So we had to get out of the chair, drag yourself up and your chair 2 flights of stairs, and then get in your chair and go down backwards.
Wow.
In your wheelchair.
That's a decent challenge, isn't it?
That's right. So I was very lucky with the rehab centre I went to, and out of hospital, all we wanted to do was get on with it. I just wanted to get back to work and get back into life, because life's too short, really, Gary.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, you got to cherish every moment.
Yeah, and what did you do for work at that stage?
I was a mechanic.
Motor mechanic.
Yeah, I was a mechanic through rehab. Naturally, the downfall is that they try and push you into admin jobs and computer skills and that sort of thing. And I told everybody straight away, no, I just want to continue what I'm doing because I love it so much.
Yeah.
And that's what I set out to do. Was get back into
your positive attitude can be seen right the way through there. But what'd that look like once you got on with it and you're trying to do things like shower and go to work and back? I can imagine motor mechanic work when you're in a wheelchair. You're limited in how much you can do.
The basic challenges in a workshop for me in that sort of environment, and I'd been in management, automotive workshop management before that.
Yep.
Well, before I had my accident, so I figure that'd be a good mix if I could pick up jobs where it was 50% on the tools, 50% sort of admin.
Okay.
Those are the jobs I'd target.
Yep.
So first job out was working at a marina on the Gold Coast, admin, and then I did in the workshop. I did generator repairs on boats, not on boats. The generators were pulled out and brought back to the workshop for me to work on. Yeah, so that was the start. That's when I thought I still can do it.
Yeah, that's good. So you've been able to see that you can do life, albeit with some challenges, but obviously you're not letting the challenges stop you from doing that.
There's a way around everything. I'm extremely lucky. My father owned an engineering business. I grew up through that sort of industry. And for me, it's just everything takes longer and you've got to be so organised in what you do. You know, you've just got to plan steps out on how you're going to do it. You might have to build something to help you do it, but that's fine. That's some of the most enjoyable bits of the challenge.
Yep. So that's how long from there did you keep working as a mechanic then?
Right up until early last year.
Okay. And I think that's when most people in our industry became aware that you exist. So going, okay, here's some guy, crazy guy, who's going to mow lawns in his wheelchair.
Yeah, well, I got back from the Northern Territory. I did 2 stints in the Northern Territory, in very remote places in the Northern Territory. The first one was we were travelling Australia in a 4-wheel drive and an off-road camper.
Yep.
So we'd been to all the remote bush spots, and we ended up in Darwin at the beginning of the wet season. Bad timing. So we thought, well, we'll look for jobs. So I scored a job running a council workshop in Arnhem Land on the Roper River.
That'd be a really nice spot to work, wouldn't it? It'd be nice and remote. You'd have nice people around to work with.
It was an Aboriginal community. It was a pretty good community. There's lots of challenges in those places.
Yeah.
So I just set about doing a good job.
Yeah. So what sort of work were you doing in there? Repairing vehicles or working on boats? Or?
Repairing everything from I've had a lot of experience on Toyotas. Basically, that's all you get in the bush.
So let me ask you the question. If you're in the bush and you
Yeah.
come across a Toyota, a Ford, a Holden, and what else might you come across there? There's going to be some odd ones, let's say a Mercedes or something like that. Which car do you prefer to work on?
Oh, I know Toyota's in and out. So as far as ease of work, Toyotas are good. I know all the challenges with those vehicles, but
Yeah,
I am a bit of a Ford nut.
you're
You
a
know,
Ford nut, so you like your Fords.
and actually a Land Rover.
Mm.
I'm a bit of a Land Rover man as well. So those are the two that I'd really like to work on, Ford and Land Rover.
Yeah.
And Toyotas are virtually sort of second nature now.
So Toyota and Land Rover would be up the opposite ends when you're working in the bush, wouldn't they? Because people who drive Land Rovers would hate the Toyota drivers and vice versa.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. That's an argument you could talk for hours about.
Yeah.
When we travelled with the camper, we were in a 94 Land Rover. Why did I pick that particular model? Running gear is great. They're basic. You know, as long as you keep a head gasket and a few other things in the truck, I could basically fix it. So I thought as far as breakdowns go, that'd be the car for me.
Awesome. And were you able to set up a car like that to be able to drive with your hands only, no input from your feet?
Yeah, hand controls, they've changed a lot, especially with extremely late model stuff. A lot of it's electric, Bluetooth.
Yep.
Do
Do you go automatic only, or is there manual options there?
I always run the manual option. Most of the time I've made my own or fitted my own.
Okay.
Very, very, very basic. You push it for the brake and you pull it for the accelerator.
Okay.
So the worst thing that can go wrong is a cable to the accelerator might break, which is a roadside fix. So I like to keep in a wheelchair. The more simple you can keep it and basic, the better.
Yep. Yeah, fair enough. And that, I guess that applies from every aspect of that, doesn't it? Because you really want to know that it's easy for you to fix yourself, and if something goes wrong, you're not putting yourself in more danger.
That's right, especially travelling remote, where I was in Central Australia, 300k northwest Alice Springs, and I had vehicles 600k away, all dirt.
Yeah.
I had to go up there and service, etc. So you got to rely on yourself.
Yeah.
That really remote outback travel where it's 40 degrees 5-6 months a year, if you're not prepared, it can go wrong real quick.
Oh, yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. I haven't done any travelling out there. I've done a little bit up North Queensland, up around the Gulf and up through Cape York, and it's certainly similar conditions to that, in that you're remote and hot, and if things when you're out in the middle of nowhere, that's where you're going to have the problem.
Oh, I've got great pictures of doing gunshot, right, on the old telegraph, in my wheelchair in the middle of Gunshot Creek, you know.
Yeah.
Awesome. Up the top at Sasha Beach, you know, the walk to the tip right up there. Well, my wife did the walk, but I was lucky enough because, see, disability does bring some benefits. Didn't allowed on that beach at Frangipani Beach, right at the top.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Yet I was allowed to drive on it. So I got to drive up and down it. I got out of the car. I just went into the water as far as I could, about halfway up my wheels, 2, 2.5 feet deep, while my
Yeah.
wife, you know, so
Nice.
I almost got there.
That is a magic spot there on Frangipani Beach. It's just so nice there.
Oh, sensational. We spent the day there. Like, we spent a couple of months doing the Cape.
Yeah, awesome.
Yeah, Captain Billy's Landing and Crystal Creek and the old Telegraph. It's, magic country. People up there are great too. Yeah.
Yes. What vehicle did you do those things like the gunshot and getting in and out of those?
94 Land Rover Discovery. Yeah.
Nice. I did an 80 series Land Cruiser, so we would have been the enemies if we'd come across each other there.
Oh no, I got a lot of respect for the old 80 series.
Yeah, they're great.
Yeah. Yep.
They're showing their age now, though.
Oh, definitely. You know, my brother's got a 200 series, a very, very nice 200 series, and all that. I've gone back to cars, you know. I had my last Land Rover was a really nice Discovery, later model Discovery. It was, you know, it was fast, economical, and did all the tricks. And it was stolen and crashed into the Todd River in Alice Springs. So after that, I thought, no, I'll just go back to cars. So now I'm driving an old BF wagon.
Yeah. Okay. And they had good vehicle, the old Falcon wagon.
Oh yeah. Especially with the barras in them. Those motors are just one of the best things that's come out of Australia.
I've got friends who constantly saying nothing better than a barra. You can put a barra in anything. You can get 1,000 horsepower out of it without even changing a head gasket.
That's right. And they're just so reliable. They are a pretty bulletproof engine, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, so I'm just doing some maths here, Stewart. Yeah, you mentioned you were 39 at the time of the accident, so that would make you at least 39 and a half by now, right?
Yeah, that's correct. Yep.
So is this your retirement job that you're doing now?
What, mowing?
Yeah.
I'm mowing because no one would give me a job.
Oh, okay. So
all right. See, I was on 5 acres. Before I moved here, I was on 5 acres at Tamborine and looked after the place myself. And I've got to say, at the best of times, it looked like Augusta. Being on a mower is always one of those situations for me that you don't feel disabled.
Yeah.
It's like being in a car. You know, no one knows that you're in a wheelchair unless they see the wheelchair in the passenger seat.
Yeah.
So, and it was always a relaxing time for me, and I just enjoyed it. So that was my time out of work. And when I got back from the Territory the first time, 2 years, I couldn't get a job. I applied for 200 jobs, nothing.
Yeah. You've got all the credentials and all the ability to do the work and the experience working out there. You'd think that you'd be able to snap a job up real quick because of that.
You'd think so, but the East Coast is a little bit different. You know, it's home. It's always sort of been home for me. Yeah. But businesses, the way I'd get a job here is to apply for a job and hope that someone on the interview panel or whoever the interview's with actually knows somebody like me in a wheelchair.
Otherwise, they're scared that they...
Yeah, otherwise they sit a chair and it's all HR from there.
Yeah.
It's HR nightmares.
So you got sick of applying for jobs after 200 odd applications, I guess.
Yeah. But I applied for a job in the Territory and got it straight away. Flew me out there. Yeah. Absolute worst wheelie place in the world. It's all desert. It's all sand, mud. Bugger all bitumen.
You have
Even
installed fat tyres on the wheelchair, I'm guessing.
No, I just run all standard, stuff, all skinnies, but you can get through.
Yeah.
I ride bikes. You'll see over my right shoulder the bike in the background there. I've got a couple of those. The other one I used out in the territory on both jobs as my work vehicle, so to speak, running around.
Yeah. Yep.
Plus the old trusty stand-up wheelchairs.
Okay.
So that's the technology to enable for you to do so much more than people think.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I love my bike riding. I get out on the dirt bike and the road bike, but your bike there looks like it's quite capable of getting you around.
Yeah, it does. They're old. They're extremely old school. They were made in the 80s and 90s.
Yeah.
And they're little 80cc two-strokers.
Oh, nice.
I did a transplant on my work one and put a 100 four-stroker in it in a day, cut it out, mounted it, drove it home over Christmas at Yuendamu in the middle of the bush. But that's the wind down for me. You jump on that thing, there's no pulling the chair apart, all that stuff that driving a car.
Yep.
You just jump in and go, and it's only a couple of K down the road, so go down there and watch the water for a while. I got another mate down the road. He's got 5 of them. We go for rides together and that.
There's nothing more refreshing than being out in the open when you're out on the road, just with wind in your face and enjoying the scenery.
Oh.
You don't have the distractions. You're not going to pull a phone out of your pocket or be busy talking to somebody else. You're not doing it to get to an appointment on time. It's just out there enjoying it.
And then what you just said, that's basically life these days, is your phone, you're just so connected.
Yeah.
But on the bike, it's a little bit of music and it's so good.
It is. It's good for the mental health.
Oh yeah, extremely. Yeah.
Let's go back to what you were talking about before. You mentioned that when you're on the 5 acres, you had your own lawnmower that you're doing the 5 acres with. You're looking after that 5 acre block yourself. Is that where you felt inspired to give it a try doing lawn mowing, or is that what you reflected on after you'd given up trying to apply for jobs where people were rejecting it?
Well, due to the TV interview, when I said during that interview, I said, look, I'd be happy mowing lawns.
Yeah.
Now, the moment I said that, it just snowballed into this incredible support and help from people like, Brendan and Bush Ranger and Ego. I thought, why not? I thought, I will give this a fair crack. It's not something I was really planning on doing. It was just to keep looking for work and hoping something had come along. But since doing it, I love
it. There's something about being in charge of your own business. When it's a small business, you don't have to worry about management. You don't have to worry about somebody else telling you what to do. You don't have to worry about looking after a lot of employees unless you choose to do those things.
That's right. I think like solo for me is the best. Basically, it's not easy. All the lawn porn people and things out there, I can't go near that because I have a lot of challenges, and due to the extremely wet seasons we've had, like we had rain here today, like edging and whippersnipping is Achilles heel
Yeah.
because I'm a man that weighs 110 kilos. You know,
Yep.
I'm not a massive bloke. I think I'm 65, 70 kilos. But
Yeah.
you put that on a lawn in a 6-wheel chair, 4-wheel drive with 2 casters on the back,
Yeah.
and it's damp. Yeah, you can imagine the mess that takes. I'd whip a snip, you know, 8 feet at a time, move another 8 feet, all that. So that's my Achilles heel with it. That's why I'm really trying to concentrate on more acreage type work, which is basically what I do now.
Yeah. Okay.
You know, biggest job I got's about 2 acres.
Yeah. So most of that bush ranger.
No, unfortunately, all my local clients in the suburb, I use the Zero because I absolutely love it. I love driving that thing. Because I can drive it there.
Yeah.
You know, to do my really local jobs, I get my electric chair, I'm loaded up, blower, snipper, all that, and they do all that, then come back, jump on the Zero and drive down there and do the job and sort of come home. But all my outside jobs, I got to use the Johnny or a push mower.
Yeah.
You know,
so the 2 acres, it's going to be the John Deere.
Johnny's the only one I can load and unload myself.
Yeah. Okay.
There's not room on the trailer for my wheelchair to go up the side of the Zero. So
how big's the Zero? Is it 60-inch or 52?
No, 40. It's only 42.
42. Okay.
But see the Johnny, because it's got a narrow wheelbase.
Yep.
I'll put that on the trailer, hard in one corner, and then I can fit my electric chair up beside it.
Okay.
You know, and the mower at the pushy at the back.
Yep.
And then, you know, I made a winch up ramp system for the back of the trailer.
Yeah. Okay. Yep.
So then I unload. All right, this is the procedure. I unload my electric chair.
Yep.
I jump on that. I go up the ramp again. I put the Johnny into neutral so you can push it.
Yeah.
And then I pull that back and use my electric chair as a brake to get it down the ramp.
Okay.
And I put my manual chair right up in the left-hand corner of the trailer.
Yep.
So when I finish mowing, I can drive the ride on up and my manual chair's there. Then I can drag it over the deck, jump in that and back down the trailer.
Okay.
Otherwise, when I was using the smaller trailer, my wife I'd have to take my electric to a job and then she'd come home, pick the mower up, bring it back. Well, you can imagine the economics of doing that. You know, it's crazy.
Yeah, it's not worth it, but when you work out how much you're getting for the lawn.
Yeah, that's right. And I can't do the 10 or 12 or 15 jobs a day.
You really need a trailer where you can park the chair right beside the mower.
Yeah, I'm earning a dole, basically.
Yeah.
So, and to me, that's a good outcome at this stage.
Well, you're doing something rather than sitting at home waiting for a check.
Yeah, waiting to die.
Yeah.
That's what I've known a lot of people in chairs that just sit around and wait for that day.
Yeah.
And you just can't do it. Plus, I supplement the mowing by doing trailer repairs, welding, fabrication.
Yeah.
You know, mechanical repairs. I do water, you name it, I'll take it on.
And looking at you from here, I can't see all of you, but you look like you're a fairly healthy person. So you're not around with nothing to do, and having the mowing to do, having those other jobs to do will help to keep you active, and keep your mental health good too.
Yeah, well, that's why I've always had relatively big blocks, because just the amount of work you've got around your house and your block is good way to keep you fit. You know,
Yeah, for sure.
probably, you know, if I did get a job, it'd be more a desk job.
Yep.
So you need something to supplement that.
Yeah,
You
something
know,
at home to keep you going.
every kilo, every bit of muscle I lose, it just gets harder for me to get myself around.
Yep.
So you do have to, you know, health for me is a major aspect of it. Don't get me wrong. I love a beer. I even love a cig, but you know, you got to keep the body fit.
That's right. And whilst you might love a beer and a ciggy, it doesn't look like your health is disadvantaged for that. It's well balanced in what you're doing.
Yeah, I try to keep it like that. Yeah, definitely. You still got to have a good time. You still got to relax, and you know, it's the way to do it. I think friends, good food, friends, family. You know, bit of a drink.
It sounds like you've got a good balance there. So
yeah,
that's great. So give us a bit more of an insight into what happens with your lawn mowing. How many lawns would you be looking after now?
at the moment, 5.
Yeah.
Which doesn't sound much, but most of them are big jobs. They're regular jobs. I've got 2 good NDIS customers. And the others are just nice, regular customers. Plus, when I say 5, like, geez, people must go, oh, God. But I do pick up a lot of other work, especially local. People going away, I do those places for them. You know, it's a good community I've got here. I'm not a big self-promoter. I'm not great on the socials. So it's more word of mouth for me. And that's the way I pick it up. Naturally, this time of year is harder anyway. You know, I don't.
I'm guessing the lawn still grows up there compared to down New South Wales here, close to Sydney.
Yeah, you know, so I've done a couple of big hedges and that lately.
Yeah.
Which really is a whole day's work for bugger all money. But you know, it's still good, honest work, and that's what I like about it.
Yeah. Look, for people who are thinking that 5 customers is not really running a business, really none of their business, but you only need 1 customer to be making money. And
yeah, that's right.
If you've got enough work for what you want, then that's the gauge by which you go by. If you've got enough work and you're making enough money, then it's nobody else's problem, really.
That's it. Plus, I do have a lot of sort of hardships because I rely on electric wheelchair. That's only got so much charge. You know, it's got a 40k range if you use it like it's supposed to be used.
Yeah.
But the moment you start working it, you know, the amount of times I've been bogged and have to get out of it and, you know, bum 100 metres and get me manual chair or get out of my chair and sit in the mud and get the chair out of a bog.
Yeah.
You know, so I'm limited on a bit of battery range.
Yep.
And also physically. You know, for me, I'm sitting, whip snipping, I get covered in it.
Yep.
It sticks and, you know, and it only takes a 3 mil by 10 mil stick to, you know, cause a pressure sore for me, and I could be out or I could be in hospital for months. So
yeah, that would be a real danger for the job, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it is. Yep. Definitely the injuries. I haven't smashed a window yet, though. Touch wood.
Don't talk about broken windows. I broke one this week.
Oh,
I've had a really good run, 12 years doing this business, and it's got to happen though.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
We won't dwell on the negative there. That's could be a lot worse. But
Yeah, could be.
yeah, so I can imagine what you're saying there. The wheelchair gets 40-kilometre range if you're using it how it's supposed to be, and you're using it for everything but what it's supposed to be used for.
Oh, that's right. Like it works hard. So
Yeah.
on a real hard day, especially with the wet type environment,
Yep.
I'll get 2 to 3 hours out of it.
Yeah.
And you got to remember, for an able-bodied to whippersnip, it takes me, as I said, that's the Achilles heel of the job.
Yeah.
And naturally, I can't charge for it. Just because it takes me an hour and a half to whippersnip a place where it'd take an able-bodied 15, 20 minutes.
Yep.
That's where the downside is. That's why work on the ride-on is great for me.
It's much more efficient than the whippersnipping. So
yeah.
I'm guessing
if I pick up a little couple of local contracts, a couple of parks, and that's the thing I'm trying to concentrate on is council and maybe getting some, regular sites to do, even if it's vacant blocks or that sort of. That's what I'm concentrating on at the moment.
Yeah, I can imagine in your area, if you're doing half an acre block, you'd be charging similar amount to what somebody else is charging to do a half acre block. And that's just where it's at. You can't charge more than what somebody else is charging, like you're saying. But yeah.
That's right. Yep. And since I started doing it, the amount of people you see on the road, with a few mowers or whatever, and I've met a couple of people, they got their full-time jobs and they're doing it on the weekends for a bit extra, and God love them for doing it. But I just do what I can.
Yep. Yeah, and that's all you can do.
Yeah.
So you've been doing it for, what did you say, about 18 months now? Is that about right?
No, October, really, last year.
Okay, so you've done one season.
Yeah. Yep. And it was a hard season, because of the weather.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, and I can't mow when it's showering or, when there's a bit of wet weather around, because of all the electronics that I rely on that just can't get wet.
Yeah.
So that's even this time of year with the heavy dews, we get really heavy dews and stuff off here. I can't head off at 6:30 or 7 in the morning.
I've wait until about 10 o'clock before
first job, 9, 10 o'clock. Wait, because otherwise my electric chair leaves that deeper prints in the lawn.
Yeah.
When I finally mow it, you can still see them. I've lost customers because of that, and I totally understand it.
Yeah. That's one of the hazards of doing it.
Yeah, that's right.
Yep. So after a season doing it, how do you find it? You want to keep on doing it?
Yeah, definitely.
Yep.
Absolutely. I'm looking forward to the warmer weather. I'm a bit of a cold frog.
What do you mean the warmer weather? Isn't it warm up there all the time?
No, not when. See, I'm a 10% humidity, 40-degree day sort of person.
Of course.
Coming
from Mount Catherine, Northern Territory there.
Yeah. Middle of Australia.
The humidity up there gets insane.
Oh, it does. Yeah. And the sky
down here, we had 3 degrees this morning when I got out of bed.
Yeah, well, see, that's why I don't live there.
I didn't feel like living either.
I was born in Melbourne. I grew up in Melbourne, so I really do understand. But even as a, teenager down there, no, the cold always knocked me around. I think 1982 came and I was out of there and up to Queensland.
Yeah, and never looked back.
No. I got family and that in Melbourne, so we are down there as much as we can be. But definitely warm climate.
Yeah. So with the gear you're running, are you running any battery gear? Like, did you get any?
I'm running basically all battery gear apart from the mowers.
Yeah.
I run the 52 Ego push mower.
Yep.
Self-propelled, head jar, all that. My snipper that I've used for years and years and years now is actually Makita.
Yeah.
Only because it's really short.
Okay. Yep.
What? So I can flip it and edge, and it's just extremely handy for me.
I imagine being shorter would make it a lot easier for you to work with.
Pardon?
So I can imagine having a shorter shaft would make it a lot easier for you to work with.
Yeah, it does. And then for the harder stuff, I get the Ego out, which is longer, more reach.
Yep.
Because people have rock edge gardens and all that.
Yeah.
So I use that for all the heavy going.
Yep.
And then the Makita for the other stuff. Okay. And I got the Johnny and I got the Bush Ranger.
Yeah. So the John Deere that you're using, is that a tractor style or a 0-turn? I'm guessing it's a tractor style.
Yeah, it's an E110. It's a good little one. I bought it to do this place.
Yep.
Last one I had was a 276. Okay. Large. Yeah, it was a 48 when I was doing the 5 acres.
Yeah,
but
the E110's a really well-known model, though.
So hydrostatics for the mowers I like. The E110, I'm still driving it with a stick.
Okay, yep.
Yeah.
Makes it easier for you to set it up well.
Yeah, it does. Yeah. But it has been a good mower. And I've worked on mowers for years and years and years, running council workshops and stuff. So, I know most of them inside and out.
Yeah. So the E110's a well-known mower. Everyone knows about it.
Yeah.
Okay. So that works well for you. The 0-turn obviously offers you an easy machine for you to control, but just not easy for you to get on and off the trailer.
Yeah, that's the only thing. Like if the trailer was, a couple of feet wider, it'd be fine. But I'm just limited to what I've got at the moment. And I can't really run, I look at all the setups guys have got, everything locked away and, out of weather and all that. But I can't just creep down the side and jump on a mower and back it out. So
yeah,
I set up sort of totally open. I'm using the wagon, so most of the equipment goes in the back of that. Yeah. And it's me ride-on and chair in the trailer.
Yep. So it's an open box trailer, I guess.
Yep. Yeah, it was a standard trailer.
Somebody needs to design a trailer that's more like a car trailer for you, so that you can get off the side of the trailer possibly, or have a side ramp.
Yeah. If I could pick up a couple of sort of permanent contracts, that's where I'd go to.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
And it'd make your,
Because I've got
business,
friends in
business more
chairs
efficient.
I do have friends in chairs that would love to do it,
Yeah.
but it's especially both mowers to a job.
Yeah.
You know, that's a big ask. I couldn't do it at the moment.
Yeah.
But yeah, car trailer type setup would be perfect.
Yeah. Especially if it has a side ramp, so you can go off the back ramp or off the side, and then you can do the wheelchair up one side and the mower down the other.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah. Okay. We've got a fairly good idea of what your business looks like now, I think. And you've enjoyed your first season. You're keen to keep going. And what did we say? You're 39 and a half so far, so you're still got a few years where you want to be working rather than fully retired.
Oh, definitely. You know, hitting the 60s in a wheelchair, I definitely don't feel it. So as long as I can do it, I'll keep doing it.
Yeah, well, you don't look like you're 60 yet. You look like you're maybe at best 50s.
Thank you very much for that, Gary. Oh, you know, you're only as old as you feel. If you didn't know your birth date, how old would you be? Sort of thing.
That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and if you don't have your own, you steal somebody else's.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. Okay. Well, look, that's been good to talk to you, Stewart. Have you got anything I haven't brought up that's worth talking about?
No, I like to stay positive. So, the backing of the people that I've had through this site and others has been absolutely incredible. So this is another chance to say thank you. I'm hanging in there. I am starting to get a feel of it. And even for me, just the tax side and the business side, you know, we're almost there now as far as that goes. So financially, we'll have a lot better reading on it over the next few weeks. And then I'm not a big promoter. Probably that's my biggest downfall. But if I can grab couple of little local contracts and get someone else working for me occasionally, that's the goal. That'd be the ultimate, like, for me.
Yeah.
But I'm optimistic. You've got to be optimistic.
Yeah. Yep. I can see that you are definitely an optimistic person. So looking at what you're saying there, you've got quite a few people. Brendan, that helped you out from the LMCA group when you first got in the news for what you're saying, the TV.
Yeah, it was incredible.
Back then. Yeah, and everybody jumped on board to help you out, which was awesome. Would it be helpful if you had some specific help at the moment, say with your bookwork, your tax, or with trying to help you get those extra customers in your area? Is it worth reaching out for anybody?
No, look, Hazeldine, see, this is where I'm a bit I can be a bit slack in a couple of areas, and that bookwork side, I've done it for years. But I actually started enjoying the outdoor work more than that side of it.
Yep.
I do have lots of projects at home. That definitely keeps me busy. But overall, the help I've got has basically covered everything. Now it's just up to me to start putting a bit back into the business.
So doing
which
promotion.
And that's a hard thing. You know, I got my shoulder on one of my chairs, so I got two wheelchairs here.
Yeah.
And the combined value of those is over $80,000.
Wow. Yeah.
So I can imagine people out there in the industry, what they could do with 80 grand as far as equipment goes.
Yeah.
You know, so it's harder. It's been harder for me to just reinvest in the business, especially when I won't say I'm on the breadline. You know, wife works; she's got a good job, and I'm doing my part. But if I can build it up a little bit more, that's where I'd love to invest in, you know, some more technology as far as around charging goes. So I could charge from chair while it's on the trailer while I'm travelling, you know, inverter batteries.
Yep.
Due to the fact I use all electric, and my battery limitation does let me down as well. So they're the things that I've got to start to put some money into.
So you need to address those issues so that you could take on more work.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. You know, I've got the know-how to do the inverter. I do have a small inverter. I can charge the Makita stuff and that. But that's something I do have to build on. Definitely.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, it sounds like you've got some plans in place already to be ready for the next season when it starts. When does your season start ramping up in that area?
Probably, well, with the way the forecast is, it seems like we're in for sort of more wet weather.
Yeah.
The weather here will start to warm up in another 4 odd weeks, you know, another month. So it should sort of kick off from about there.
Yep.
And over the last season, you know, most people do the fortnightly type things, but I was doing weekly, same place weekly.
That's awesome.
That's what sort of season it was. And I think this one's starting out to sort of be the same. So
yeah, I'm a strong promoter of doing weekly cuts.
I've got some hedges to do and weeding for me. Hand weeding for anybody. I haven't seen many comments on it, or many good comments on it. So I've got a bit of that sort of work over the next couple of weeks, so that'll be interesting.
Okay, yeah, I'm not envious of you there. I've got my fair share of weeding jobs to do.
Well, you do what you got to do, don't you?
Yeah, you do. You grit your teeth and get on with it.
Yeah, that's right.
Yes. Okay, so yeah, you got a few weeks till the new season starts up, and you start getting ready for that. Yeah, it sounds like you've put a lot of thought into it, and you're keen to keep going for as long as you can.
Yeah. I'd love to have another update and once the next season's over, because expansion, it's taken me this long, and really I didn't get the trailer and unloading and loading sort of sorted until quite late in the season.
Yeah.
So this season I know what to expect, and I know the type of work to look for, and I'll especially probably leading up to the season over the next month. My goal is to get into the council. I have got some good leads there, and good leads in a couple of little contracts that are coming up on vacant blocks. So
nice.
That's what I'm concentrating on at the moment, and hopefully kick off a bigger season. If I can double my clientele over the next season, that's sort of the goal. And to go from 5 to 10, I don't think is a hard ask. So I'm optimistic.
Yeah, no, I don't think that's a big ask at all. I think that's quite reasonable.
Yeah.
But maybe we should plan on touching base around the middle of next winter and see how things are going for you then.
I'd look forward to that, Gary. It's been an absolute pleasure.
No worries. Good to catch up with you and get a bit more info on your story. And yeah, it's great to talk to you about full drives and motorbikes and when you had up in Northern Territory.
All the fun stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
Next thing will be a jet ski, I think. I
That'll
haven't
be
been.
fun.
Yeah, I'm a boating fanatic. I haven't been on the water for a while, so
Yeah.
Jet ski.
You'd need to be a mechanic to own a jet ski though, because they're so high maintenance.
To me, it's definitely on the water is a reliability. That's number one. You got to get out there and get home.
Yep.
So it's preventative maintenance. You know,
Yeah.
I see a lot of I see a lot of posts with blokes going, you know, oh Jesus, me Friday, what do I, you know, and they've got a trailer wheel hanging off. Well, I'm not that sort of person. You know,
the amount of people who buy a boat or a jet ski and they just they think maintenance is something you do once a year.
Yeah, that's right. No, it's after every trip.
Yeah, well, we'll look forward to seeing you get out on a jet ski. I reckon that would be great fun.
And when you're out on the water, you can't walk home. Not that I can walk, but you've got to be able to get back.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, you want that reliability sorted.
Yeah, you do, definitely.
Yeah.
Like mowers, you know.
Yeah, true. Yep.
Yeah. I'm not pushing a mower up the ramp. I draw the line there.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah. It's great to talk to you. Hope you have a good Sunday afternoon.
And you too, Gary. And thanks for the invitation. And again, a shout out thank you to everybody that supported me.
No, it's great to see. And yeah, I look forward to catching up with you again soon.
Yeah. Cheers, Gary.
No worries. Thanks.
See you. Bye.